Welcome back to Nobody Asked for This podcast with Cali and Saulyna.
Hey, what's up? Today's episode, let's talk about confidence. Let's talk about self-image, confidence that we have, the lack thereof. Let's just have a conversation about all the shit we're feeling about our bodies. As women, of course, it's kind of inevitable for us to not feel some type of way about our bodies at some point, whether we completely wanted to control how we felt or even if someone in our life is going to make us feel some way about our bodies, whether it's good or bad. I know you brought up a couple weeks ago about how you were feeling about your body when you were packing, and you were just like, I'm not feeling, which is insane to me because it's like, I feel like we've both been around each other enough to see each of our bodies in completely different phases, like what you used to look like versus now, like more than two. I've probably seen you in 4 different versions of yourself. Even when I just look at pictures of us together, I'm like, whoa, neither of us look like that anymore. I know, like, weight wise, you used to struggle a lot and now you lost a lot of weight and you're still struggling.
Yeah. Last summer, for example, which was the smallest I have been in my adult life, I feel like it should have been a prime for me, but it wasn't because I wanted to be proud of myself and how I looked, but how I reached it, it's not like I tried to lose weight. I actually don't know how I lost weight when I lost that amount of weight. But then I had people all the time saying, well, you never were big. You've been posting that you were a size 14, but I always remember you as extra small Cali. And I'm just like, I don't know, everyone diminishes me. So anytime that I talk about my body, I just literally stop.
Yeah, it gets really hard, especially when you view yourself in one way and obviously people view you in a whole different light. I know I'll talk to girls and I'll be like, wow, her body's fucking great. Whoa, I wear the same size as her. We fit into the same thing. Or you see pictures of you guys together and you're like, wow, she doesn't look that much different than me. So why am I thinking my body looks like this disgusting, flabby thing? And she looks similar to me and I think she looks fucking great. It's so hard to control. When I was at my lightest, mine was probably right after deployment. I hated it. I remember wanting to be in the 120s so bad. And then I got there and I was like, this is actually so ugly. Where's my meat? Nothing's fitting in all the right places anymore. And I'm not gonna lie, I was probably not even probably, I was definitely was like strength wise, it wasn't bad weight that I lost. I mean, it was bad weight that I lost, but strength wise, I was strong. But it's also like mentally, I was bad. It was like, okay, on the outside it looked fucking great, but mentally, if I don't work out today, I'm gonna be disgusting and fat in the morning. I can't eat this. I can't enjoy this croissant at nighttime because I'm gonna be bloated in the morning. And now if I want it, I want it. So I'm kind of at the point right now where I'm taking control of it on a mental level. Like, yeah, I know everyone knows all the things you're supposed to be doing physically. You should eat this, you shouldn't eat that, blah, blah, blah. But nobody really mentions you have to completely change your mentality before you can even change your body to have that discipline to do it. And at this point, I don't even care about my looks. I've been so controlled by my looks my entire life. And obviously, it's something I still take pride in. I'm not even going to sit here in front. I don't give a fuck. But I'm kind of doing it for me now. I need these carbs because I need energy for the day. It doesn't matter if I'm going to be like, oh, I shouldn't eat carbs because I have to wear a bathing suit today. Like, no, do you want to be miserable and down, or do you just want to have a good day? And who gives a fuck if you're bloated? Ugh. But that was a struggle I had earlier this week, so I shouted about it.
About a croissant?
I literally said I can't have carbs for breakfast because I am going to have to be in a bathing suit all day. When I know carbs are literally my number one source of energy in the morning. My brain is telling me that, but my other side of my brain was like, but you have to look good.
Yeah. I don't know. This topic's so hard for me because, to be honest, when I was my heaviest, which was college, I didn't really have self image problems. I don't know if it's because I didn't have time to think about it or I just didn't give a fuck because I went to school on a beach. I'm going to be in a bikini every day. I never really had a self discussion before. But I mean, if you go through my photos, I have tons of progress pictures of me in bikinis doing, the side views and everything.
Yeah, so it was still in there at some point, but you don't remember like obsessing over it or being like focused completely on that.
Yeah, because I have never been a person that has worked out. I've never been a person to help myself. So therefore, I think that's why I never really got down about it, because I was like, you can't be down about it if you're not even going to try to fix it. So I kind of just, I don't want to say I didn't care, but I think it was just something that I didn't think of. I was worrying about so many other things, and my body was not one of them because I knew I couldn't change my body. But then it leaned into, I didn't lose weight until what, last year, 2023, until I came home to PA.
Yeah, I would say the early 2023 or late 2022.
It literally was 2023 because I do remember once in college, because I have this one picture that I'm thinking of. I remember the first time that my ex and I broke up in college, I did lose a good amount of weight. And I remember I stopped eating and I literally did nothing. I swear, when you're in a relationship, all you do is go out to eat, and at night you're eating popcorn, watching movies. It's literally boyfriend weight. So I just lost all of the additional food that I was only eating with him that I didn't eat by myself, kind of thing. So I was losing all of that. And then we got back together, so I gained it all right back. I still view myself as the girl in college until I try on my clothes and I'm like, fuck. My jeans don't fit me, my shorts don't fit me, my nothing fits me. But then I learned about body dysmorphia, and it's so weird to me because the girl that I knew that had it whenever we were in college was the tiniest little thing. And like everyone would get mad at her because she'd be like, "Are you sure I look okay?" Like, da 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 da. And we're just like, "You're literally the smallest one here." It would piss us off. And I was like, why don't I have that when I was one of it's so hard for me to talk about because I know to a lot of people I'm not a big girl, especially because I am literally 5 foot. Even at my biggest, people were just like, well, I never remember you being that size. And I'm like, I just hate talking about it because I feel like how I feel is not valid because no one else sees it the way that I see it.
That's why we're having this conversation, is because we view ourselves in it's such a different light, and that's where I'm at. I've lost weight and gained weight a million fucking times, and right now I could definitely say head space wise I'm the best I've ever been, because I'm not doing it to look hot, I'm not doing it to look healthy. I didn't even try to freaking lose weight. I got to the point where I was noticing how my body is chemically reacting to when I treat it how it's supposed to be treated. So when I have a nice breakfast, when I do move my body, like even when I have rest days, the next day I'm like, I can feel that I didn't go to the gym or move my body at all the day before. And it's just feels so much better now. I mean, obviously everyone's going to have those days when they wake up and they're like, oh my God, I look so disgusting today. Like, what did I do differently? And I had one of those 2 days ago and then walked into work and they were like, wow, you look so good today. And I'm like, huh, wow, where were you at this morning when I was crying in the mirror?
Yeah. No, but compliments do help.
It helped me insane, and I hate the way that I it seems like I'm looking for validation from an outside source. But realistically, like, I need it. I need you to tell me I look hot every single day. I need you to tell me, like, oh, that gym's paying off. I'm noticing the difference. Like, you're really good at complimenting me. And from you, I'm like, okay, she sees me and talks to me every day. So when you bring it up, I'm like, yes. But you're someone I care about too. So
Have you ever heard the theory about how compliments from pretty girls mean like a lot?
it's so much better.
I will cry from anyone that gives me a compliment because I feel like I never get them. So when I do get them, I don't know how to react. And then I end up crying in front of a stranger. And I'm like, that means so much. Like, that means so much to me. Thank you. And they're just like, girl, are you okay?
I have got there's sometimes that when I know there's a pretty girl, it's a girl who's just I'm like, why is everything about you so great? It's like nothing's fake, everything looks natural. I'm like, she's great, and then she compliments me, and I'm like, okay, you're are you joking or is it like for real? I'm still gonna say thank you, but in my head, I'm like, there's no way you think I'm pretty when you look like that.
It's so weird. It's so weird. But confidence to me, I feel like people think it's something that you're born with. I feel like a lot of people are just like, oh my God, well, she has confidence, so it's easy for her. But confidence to me is a trait that anyone and everyone can obtain. And it's more so a mentality than anything. Once you yourself can give yourself the confidence, the world is over. Like that is all that matters is once you empower yourself to actually see the light in yourself, then that's whenever you're ready to take on anything. But I think for me, at least the big problem for me is that I see myself as a failure instead of I'm not at fault, but it is my responsibility to do so. And I think rewiring your head that way for me helps me a lot more because instead of saying, like, well, Callie, you're fat, okay, rewire it to it's my responsibility to go to the gym. It's my responsibility to eat healthy. It's my responsibility to do this. Instead of saying, well, don't eat today. No, your responsibility is to eat healthy or eat differently, not to stop eating.
And that's so important, dude. That's so crazy because I have kind of the same exact mentality. I mean, I word it as it's like my privilege to do this. I should be happy I have access to these kind of foods that make me feel good. I'm fortunate to do this, this, and that. Some people don't even have the opportunity to go to the gym. Some people can't afford to go to the gym or they physically cannot go. And I'm like, I get to do whatever I want. I get to feed my body whatever I want. Why am I choosing to be trash to myself? You said about you having to have confidence in yourself,
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing. And that's one thing I'm getting a lot better at. When I say this stuff, I don't mean that I'm perfect and I figured this fucking body image shit out, because I have not to like a zero, but I can say I've progressed a lot from where I was before.
Mm.
And it was finding confidence within myself. And if you want to ask someone, they're going to think I've been confident my whole life. They're going to be like, that's Saulyna, that it makes sense. But I'm so fucking good at faking confident that it's like people think that's me, but the people around me know that's truly not how I feel about myself. That's not like how I view myself. I do all these things because the lack of confidence I do have. I spend 2 months hyper fixating on an outfit for one day because I got to make sure I look confident that day. I got to make sure I look my best that day. And sometimes it is something that I enjoy, but I've caught myself canceling plans because I don't have the right outfit for it. Like, what the fuck? Like, just show up as you are, be with people that you're surrounded with that make you feel good too. So I guess I could say pretty much how I think I'm figuring out how to stop hating my body is realizing that I can't hate my body into changing. I can't hate myself into doing something differently. Like, it's not going to help. And you and I both are firm believers, and if we say something, it's going to happen. Like, manifestation is huge. And I do, when I did start my journey, I guess you could call it a fitness journey, but it's not really. It's really just like life. I'm not focusing on a number. I'm not focusing to look a certain way. I'm literally just focusing on having a good life overall. I don't even notice the changes I'm making now until 20 years from now. But um I guess I'm trying to focus more on happiness and learning the science and realizing not everything needs to be aesthetics, not everything needs to look physically well. And if me being healthy is at 170 pounds or at 130 pounds, I don't know. But like, I don't care anymore. I don't. I'm tired.
That's kind of what I hear like people that work at gyms or bodybuilders, physical trainers always say. If your goal is to lose weight, then you shouldn't even start.
You're failing. You're setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah, it needs to be more than a look. It needs to be how you feel. It needs to be like, yeah, we all want a great body and we all want to show it off, but that can't be your reason.
And even when you were bringing up clothes and just like you didn't even notice you lost weight until you put clothes on. So I'm like 140ish, whatever. And I've been this for like the last month and a half, 2 months. And I even noticed, okay, I'm putting on the same pants that I wore a month ago, but like, I don't mind if they're not like all the way up over my belly. I don't mind if I have a little bit of skin showing on my stomach now. And I'm like, but why? Where is the shift? Because I still weigh the same. I'm still doing the same workouts. And I'm like, it's 1,000% my brain. It's my brain that's shifting. It's so much easier for me to want to introduce myself to people. My anxiety levels going down, and just the way I'm carrying myself is different just from my brain and trying to fix my body dysmorphia. Like, how I hate that I allowed the way I viewed myself to have such a direct impact on the way I acted with people, the way I acted with myself and everyone around me. And now I'm thriving in a bunch of different aspects just because I was like, bitch, you're bad, so act like it.
It's literally all a mind game. Everything in life is.
That's hard. I wish we could tell every single girl that right now. Every young girl, I wish I could take everything I know now. But you have to go through that like shitty, I hate myself, I'm depressed, I'm fat, even though you think I'm skinny. I've been active like my whole entire life. We did sports and then I joined the army, which I fucking have to work out every single day for. So it's kind of like my family are people who will comment on your weight. First of all, if there's someone's auntie, mom, grandma listening, and your granddaughter comes in and she looks a little different than last time you saw her, you don't say shit about it. Literally say you look beautiful, just like you do every other time. Because as soon as I started gaining my weight back, they're like, oh, they tried to make it cute, but they're like, oh, you're getting a little thick. Oh, you got a booty now. Oh my gosh, you finally put on some weight. And I'm like, ha 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 ha. But like literally, I would just cry the whole rest of the week after that. I remember when I did start picking up weight again, I didn't even notice until someone said something.
Mm-hmm. I think it is hard because, in my opinion, it is the older people that say whatever the fuck they want to say, and they see no wrong in it.
But why? Yeah, like why do they think they can keep getting away with that? But if I tell you your fucking breath stinks and you don't even have your original teeth anymore, it's a problem, and I'm disrespectful. Respect me first, and don't say that I'm soft because I care about myself.
Yeah, I don't understand. Actually, what you just said, I feel like is probably a whole different topic, but I could go in on it. I hate when older people say, I'm your elder, you need to respect me. I don't give a fuck who you are.
Oh yeah, we need to do that for sure. Like that as an episode, I'm down to be like, if you're my mom, if you're, it can go into like family members thinking they deserve respect because we share the same blood. It can go into just like brothers even thinking they can say whatever the fuck they want to say. Well, sister, brother, because sisters say whatever the fuck they think they want, they can say to you too. Ugh. I'm a huge give me respect and earn respect person now because of the way I grew up.
I I don't give anyone respect, to be honest. I don't give a fuck who you are. I hate when people are like, I'm older than you. You need to talk with me with respect. Bitch, what do you mean? Just because I'm younger than you does not mean I don't deserve respect. Why do you think just because you're 10 years older means you get respect over me?
Yeah.
Oh, I could go in. Oh,
Okay, let's go back to body image, and then maybe that could be second episode. Because since we're already like into it.
But yeah, so talking about body image, I think it is crazy because I know there was this one person in my life that did have a major transformation with their body. They were very thick, had a very curvy body, like insane. And then she lost all of her weight. She lost her butt, which is like what she was known for. She lost everything.
What she was known for. See, that's so fucking annoying.
And I remember this one guy, he literally said to her, I liked you better when you were thick. And I was just like, well, no shit, because you're a guy and all you think about is your dick. So,
Yeah. That's what is in their brain. They have three balls and it's two balls are on their dick and one's in their head because they don't know how to fucking first of all see things that aren't superficial and on the surface level or even try to. They think because I'm a guy, I have free range, I'm sexual, I have so much testosterone, it's okay if I say this and that, but it's not. Like, can you just have some kind of intellectual anything that makes me go beyond just like what I look like?
I don't know. I've been trying to put myself. Okay, no. It's not that I've been trying to put myself in these situations, but it's more so I'm now aware of the intelligence that I have and I'm not trying to hide it anymore. I'm not trying to be quiet. At the dinner table, I'm not gonna answer. If you're fucking pissing me off, instead of just keep eating and letting it slide, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm fucking stating that what's going on. I have realized that this other friend of mine, she brought it up and she was just like, every time that there is a controversial topic going on, you always sit back, you cross your leg, and you cross your arms. And I do.
Yeah, because you learn more by listening.
And I mean, that's what I've always said. I like to hear other people's point of views, and I don't need to comment on it. I don't need to. But then I'm like, me not commenting on it is making them think what they're saying is okay.
Yeah. And I love that that's changed about you, because I do remember before, I don't want to say you were a yes man, but that comes out to your personality and not wanting to disappoint other people. That you've always like been like that. So you're like, if I don't say anything, they won't get mad at me because I don't agree with them. And lately, even if I say some shit, you're like, okay, that's some shit. And I'm like, thank you for telling me that, because now I can view it differently. I can handle the situation differently. You're helping me out in this conversation by finally providing your opinion instead of telling me what you think I want to hear, because we think differently and I want to know why you do.
I feel like the reason why I never have, well, in most cases, why I have never said anything is because normally it's two opinions and you're allowed to have your opinion. So that's why I never comment. But recently, these conversations that I don't want to say been involved with, but been near, like I'm sitting there listening to them, their opinion cannot be right.
Because it's wrong, as in, like, it's just as, like, how is it? They're really bad.
The one that I'm thinking about specifically is LGBTQ. And I know that you can think however you want to think. But in all honesty, there's one fucking answer, dude. There is one fucking answer. And I hate talking about it because if you're the opposite side, you're thinking the same way. You're thinking, no, the answer is you're a boy or girl at birth. But to me, it's like the opposite. You can do whatever you want, kind of thing. I will support whatever you want to do. And the conversation happened, and I was just like, no, let me school you in this education that I have on this, because what you're saying is so disrespectful, not only to the person that you're talking about, but it's disrespectful about yourself. The fact that you believe in it that way says so much about you. And I popped off. I was just like,
So I get you have an opinion on things, and if you don't want to change it, you don't have to. Where I draw the line is you not being receptive to receive it, to me educating you further on the topic. And it's not even me trying to change your mind or your opinion. I just want you to have all the facts and then make an opinion based on that. Like, be around someone in that community, hang out with them for a day, and then let me know your opinion on it. Don't say, oh, I feel this way because whatever. I grew up Christian and my pastor doesn't do it. My mom would kill me if I did this. Because when it comes to me, I believe one thing as a Christian, and I'm just going to say anything I want right now. I'm going to get canceled on someone's side.
that's literally what her side was because she was Christian.
See, and I am too, but God loves fucking at. Well, I just say God and fucking in the same sentence. So I'm a great Christian. What can I say? So, but anyway, one side is gonna cancel me today because I have like my opinion based off what I've learned growing up, but I've also learned I love everyone and God has loved everyone, and I 1,000% believe if God walked in the. I can't. I'm not a good example because I'm not gay. Some days I think I'm gay, but right now I'm not. Say that like a trans person was sitting here and he walked in, 1,000% God would welcome them with a hug. And to me, it's not they're going to hell because of anything, a decision they made. If that's the case, I'm going to hell for, I had a mimosa this morning. I'm going to hell for the tattoo on my legs. I'm going to hell for smoking reefer or whatever because I just felt like it that day. Don't fucking talk to me at this booth with your fucking Bud Light in your hand and say I can't love another human being that looks exactly like me.
Yeah, I just went in because I just felt. I think maybe this is when I guess I guess I could say this is when I realized I had a strong opinion about it, is that like I felt disrespected hearing her
And
point
you're
of
not even
view.
gay. And you're not even part of their community. And you're feeling disrespected.
I knew I needed to talk because it started to actually affect me. It was getting too heated and my body was getting warm and I was like, "Okay, Callie, like this is your time. This is your time to speak if you really want to put your foot down. Like go ahead and do it." That was my big aha moment. I actually have so much knowledge that people don't know about or think that I have. And it's just like, why don't we stop sitting at dinner, listening to them and responding the way that we think they want instead of let's put our side out there. That's technically the whole reason why we started this podcast to begin with,
I know.
is because of how we both have been told that we think so differently and that our mindsets and viewpoints are so different.
Out there.
It just made me think of, okay, well, instead of only sharing your opinions on this podcast, why don't we put them into our daily life? And I was like, okay, bitch, put that foot down.
And I finally have got, there were some times where I'm very good at speaking my opinion. Like army wise, I get in trouble all the time. My mom gets me in trouble all the time, but that's because I do it in situations where I'm comfortable, because there is a lot of conversations that I've been either just eavesdropping on or just people I've been having around me. And I don't do conflict. Like I hate drama. I hate arguing. Like I will literally just block you so I don't have to argue. It's not part of me anymore. Before I lived for it. Now I'm too old, too much. I got way too much other shit to worry about. So I was stopped giving my opinions on things or stopped being active in the conversation because I'm either going to make someone mad or they're not going to communicate with me anymore because of my way of thinking. And now I don't care, because by saying my way of thinking, people were like, oh, that's so cool. That makes you so much cooler. Actually, I wish I knew that about you. I wasn't expecting you to say that at all. I'm like, yeah, because you don't know me, because I belittled myself so that you would feel better about yourself.
Yeah. So like to wrap this back to body image is
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
No, you're fine. I realized that I was always saying people were belittling me, but it was because I was letting them. I was I feel like I feel like I'm putting ling ling in there twice. I was
Belittling.
I was belittling. Like, am I doing ling twice? I was
No,
belittling.
it belittling. It's like
I was
idling.
belittling.
That's right. That's right.
I was belittling. Okay, well, I was belittling myself, which means other people accepted it and did it to me. Have you ever heard the theory how like big people call themselves fat? So if they call themselves fat, then that makes other people think that they can call them fat.
Yes.
And I was just like, well, that's probably the same concept of me, how I treat myself, how I put up with what I put up with, is why people think they can do that to me. And then this is just another reason that I analyze, and that's why everyone comes back to me about their exes and all their problems, is because I accept it. So it's like, well, if you just put your foot down once, then they're never going to come back again. So therefore, I shut my door and that shit's locked. Like, you can't find the key. So I feel like I kind of figured it out for myself.
Yeah.
But now I need to open the door for myself, not for other people.
So now you need to become like, you need to put yourself in the spot that they were in before.
It's more so I need to put my practices to the test for me instead of for others.
Yes. And you need to find you a Callie in your life.
Yeah, we're not going to worry about that. We're going to focus on me first. But something else that you said, about like family conflicts.
Talking about weight, and even not even just weight, like my teeth, my acne, anything. If someone cannot change it in that moment, do not comment on it. If I have spinach in my teeth, yeah, fucking let me know. Let me get it out. Don't let me go the whole day. If I have a huge ash pimple on my forehead, I promise you, I saw it this morning. I cried about it. I put makeup over it, and then I still came out. don't comment on it. I can't rip that off my head.
No, I 100% agree with you. If you can't change it in that moment, don't comment on it. I do like that. But another thing that reminded me of like family concepts is, why is it, I don't know why this actually made me think of family. It's more so just like females in general. But when females, I could bring a family.
I know. Not gonna lie, I've been waiting for you to.
I could
Like
bring
that's
it
what I'm
in,
saying. You don't
but
have to if you don't want to, but there's a specific person in your life, two people. Most I'm thinking of one person though that I keep like waiting for you that has literally ruined your whole body image your entire life. But I'm like, maybe she's just out of life. Like she doesn't exist in this life anymore, so she's just gone.
yeah, I mean, okay, well, we'll maybe talk about that another time. But
Okay.
what I'm talking about is, why is it that when females share their opinions, viewpoints, statements, whatever you want to call them, when women are passionate about a subject to anyone else, it's she's being aggressive. Oh, she must be on her period. She's getting out of hand. It's never, look at her claiming her power. She's so brilliant and powerful. Instead, it's everyone attacking her, trying to destroy her.
That is so common because I've been in situations, I've witnessed situations where a female actually stands up for what she believes in. She didn't just laugh at your corny ass joke. She didn't just say like, "Oh my gosh, don't say that." Just with your ignorant ass remark. Like she stood up for what she believed in. I stood up for what I believed in. I said my opinion on it, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, okay, okay, we were kidding. Oh my gosh, okay, okay. Why do you have an attitude?" I'm like, I don't have an attitude. I just gave your side of the joke, and I gave my side about how I didn't like your joke, or I gave my side about how I feel differently than you do. How do I have attitude? And all I did was say the opposite side of what you said. If I said it in a rude way, I apologize, but I thought I was just talking.
I feel like that is how I have felt all of the times that I have ever stepped into the conversation. And that is one of the major reasons why I became silent at the dinner table, is because I knew if I shared my side, it would be, well, you're wrong. Or like, why are you getting aggressive? Why are you getting defensive? Why are you, oh, she has an opinion today? You know, like it's always, it never turns into a conversation. It more so turns into, well, Callie, you have a problem kind of thing.
Yeah. And I know a girl who has never had this problem. She's actually just been confident, always speaks her mind, like no matter who's around or who does it. She doesn't get looked at in a positive light because of it. She's someone who's not going to let someone walk all over her. If she thinks something's wrong, she's going to tell them that she thinks it's wrong. And then she's either going to handle it or not. And people talk shit on her for it. Like, they're like, oh, she always blows things out of proportion. Oh, why did she have to have opinions? She should have just gone with the flow. She knew they were going to get mad about that, so why'd she even say it?
I think a lot of it too is like women in the work field. Think of female bosses, female CEOs, all of the coworkers talk mad shit on them. But in my opinion, as someone that's under them, I think most of the time, I think most of it's super empowering. I mean, sometimes, yeah, it is a lot, but it's so funny to me because the people that normally complain are males. It's normally the male coworkers that are like, oh, well, she must be on her period today. That's their number one thing. And I fucking hate
Is
that.
that funny? Why is it a thing? It's not even a new thing. It's something that's just carried on since I was 10 to now. Like some jokes happen and they go away, but why won't that shit fucking go away? Like periods are nothing anymore. I remember I used to be fucking scared of my period. I would go into public bathrooms, be like quietly opening up my tampon, and now I'm knocking on the thing and I'm like, sis, do you got another tampon? Because this shit isn't working. And they're like, yeah, yeah, I got you. Why can't guys fucking grow up? It's hot. Periods are hot. It means my body's working how it's supposed to be.
I feel like a lot of jokes that males use are like female derogative. Like it's literally all about how to lower how a female thinks, how a female acts. But in all honesty, they're just pissed that a female's above them to begin with.
Yeah, they think females are jokes. Just degrade me so you feel better.
My biggest thing is you are a pussy. I'm sorry, but why are we saying that? The pussy is the most powerful thing in life. And you're telling me you want me to look down on that?
That's like when they say you're a bitch, like you're a bitch and a pussy. They're, I guess, stigmatizing female attributes with weakness.
Yeah. I don't know. This world makes me really mad. The older you get, the more opinions you get and the more like heavily you feel about these opinions.
Yeah, because before we could just let it kind of bounce off. Do you think that has to do with age or just how the world's changing around us now, too?
For me, for instance, I think it deals with age because within age comes knowledge.
For some people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's why I said for my instance, because I feel like I actually have always had a good amount of knowledge, but I never knew how to share it. And I never really knew what I was saying. I mean, to be honest, I really still don't know what I'm saying. Sometimes it's just words, there's no thought with it. But once you realize that you think about this topic so many times, then you're just like, okay, well, obviously now I know that this means a lot to me.
Yeah, this is how I feel about it, and it keeps coming up. I haven't changed it.
Yeah. For one of our first episodes, I said that I don't really have opinions about things. And I was just like, well, I definitely do, but I don't know my opinions until I'm put in those situations.
Yeah.
And that's why whenever people are like, okay, well, are you right or are you left? It's just like, why do I have to be either?
And that's why sometimes it gets hard even when we get on this podcast to record, because we do pick topics sometimes, but sometimes I know I have so much to say about this topic, but if you sat me down and you're like, okay, just talk about it, I can't do that. For example, if I want to use today's episode, body image, it's easy for me to speak about today because I had a bad body image day a couple days ago and I noticed it in that moment and I was able to find sources and ways to fix it. And the way it got fixed was by some random ass compliment. But it's so hard to actually be passionate about something unless it's happening in that moment. And I feel my feelings towards that.
I agree. I've been reading a lot into activism, and it made me think of what could I do? If I wanted to do a protest or something, what would it be? What would it be? And I'm just like, I don't know, because I don't know if this is just because like I'm white, but there's not a situation that I come across every day. There's not something that I worry about every day or that I am doing every day that I'm so strongly passionate about, I think about every day. I don't have something that worries me or something that I do every day.
Okay. And I can get that because I don't think you have to, though. I think you can just be an advocate for multiple things. I don't have one thing. I mean, you could say I could because I'm a black woman in America, but it's also like I'm in so many different communities that at this point I'm just standing for what's right and what's wrong, in my opinion. I mean, and even that can be a fucking spectrum because I think this is wrong. I think this is morally wrong. But I guess for me to turn it less detailed, if it's hurting other people for no, then it's wrong. And that's the protest I'm going to.
Yeah, how we were talking about topics. We do pick topics here and there to talk about, but how we converse about them changes what I'm saying. So, how you just said, if you put me in front of a camera and I talk about it, it's going to be completely different than having a conversation with you about it, because your questions and how you're answering makes me change.
The way you were thinking about it.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that happens to me with you all the time.
Yeah, because sometimes I know how you're going to answer, but then you go crazy and I'm like, whoa.
All right, so to wrap things up, figure out the root of the dislike for your own body. You can't hate yourself into changing. Your mood about yourself and your body and your mental health is gonna change 1,000 times into your life. Accept where you are right now. Find what works for you. What works for you doesn't work for everyone. Just fucking live. Just live life. Life is so hard. I'm gonna put this down because the ice. Life is so hard and so complicated right now that if you just don't wake up and live, then you're just gonna be miserable.
I don't know though, because to be honest, I feel like in high school, I didn't give a fuck. I did whatever the fuck I wanted. But I was also so miserable and sad. But I didn't give a fuck what people thought about me. I did whatever the fuck I wanted to do. And I said whatever the fuck I wanted to say. But I think it's because there was no emotion in my words that's why it was so numb.
Yeah, because it kind of seems like it was just coming off as one, either sarcasm, or two, as in like airheady. Like, does she even know what she's talking about? She's just saying words.
I feel like it was more just bitch because how we were just saying how when females say how they feel, it comes off as bitch. And that's literally what I was in high school, was a bitch. But I was always commenting what was up. If you were cheating, commented on it. If you did some dumb shit, I commented on it. If you were doing anything out of character morally, I was commenting on that shit. That's kind of crazy to reflect on because how we were just talking about like females getting ratted on when they basically fucking share their peace of mind. That's literally me in high school.
Yeah. Military wise, I know I brought that up a lot this episode, but sexism is fucking real as fuck in the military. Body image issues are real as fuck in the military because you have to look a certain way, you have to act a certain way. When we brought up like the weight of stuff, like the body image thing in the military is so old fashioned and so elite, and it doesn't even account for women. You have to be 5'6" and under, I think it's 125 or 135 or something like that. But if you're overweight, we can measure you, but you can't have hips. So if you have like the skinny ass girl with a big fat ass in the military, she's obese. She has to lose her ass. And then we have like bodybuilding men who are failing because they don't weigh what the army's saying they are. If I had to pick between this dude who's 300 pounds bodybuilder and then this 120-pound person that you're saying is in standards, I'm picking him.
I actually just found out about those guidelines last summer because there was this guy going to the military and we were looking up the guidelines like for me versus him. And I was like, dude, this would be so easy for me because at this time I wasn't working out and I always was that weight and the amount that I had to lift and the amount I had to run, like stuff like that came easily. So I was like, oh my God, this is so easy. I don't even have to work for it. But then for him, he was running every single day, working this, working that. And I was like, this makes no sense. The fact that it's 2024 and these guidelines are still from the 1900s.
They actually just updated them and made them like 10 times harder, and we 1,000% we have this conspiracy that they made it to try and weed women out of the military, which is awful to think that we're going backwards, but as a country we are. So at the end of the day, we had a 3-part PT test, and it was push-ups, sit-ups, 2-mile run. Easy. Well, not for everyone. I don't want to say easy because it's hard, but simple. And then they started adding like weight training to it, and then they started adding like these weird like pull up things that you have to do like an ab workout while you're doing that. A bunch of workouts that were not made for a woman's body, let's just say that. And the first year there was one female who passed the PT test. So as of now, we're still taking that, and they're slowly adjusting it now because people have spoken up. They're like, as a woman, my body does not do that. My center of gravity is literally so different from a man's, and they're only making the workouts to like fit men.
But I feel like that's also because the men are in charge.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was the other thing I wanted to bring up about being bitches and speaking your opinion, because every staff sergeant woman is a fucking bitch apparently. But if I had a staff sergeant man saying and doing the exact same things that she's doing, he's a badass. He's so cool. He's old army because he's mean, but she doesn't, and she's a fucking bitch. I'm the leader as well. I have soldiers under me and stuff, and I'm a little more lenient because I'm one of the youngest people in my rank, and two, I know from experience from the way I was raised that disrespect doesn't get people to listen to you. So I'm empathetic, I'm sensitive, and I just get called soft every single day. You're a soft sergeant. Why are you doing that? And then I have other soldiers who are like, I want to be in Sergeant Wells' squad. The people who are at the same rank as me is like, you only want to be with her because she lets you guys do whatever you want. Like, no, dude, they get their shit done, and if they're done, I'm not gonna be like, here, actually do this now. Actually do this now. Go run. Go work out then. I'm gonna be like, well, what do you need to do? Oh, you have homework to do? Go ahead and do it. Did you finish this already? It's just so fucking annoying. And then when I do like get angry because they're not listening, they'll be like, oh, she must have just gotten yelled at. She's in a bad mood.
Yes. It's always when you put your foot down, there's something wrong.
Yeah. And I'm like, you guys have been screaming at me to do this. It takes me a lot to get riled up military wise because I think it's just the easiest thing to do is just they give you a fucking rule book. Just follow every rule in the rule book to a T kind of thing. That's so simple to me. That's easy. So when someone doesn't do it, I'm like, what are you understanding? And it's more or less them doing the same wrong thing over and over and over again. And if I feel like I'm getting taken advantage of now, and I hate being lied to too. Those are like my two things. Don't take advantage of me and don't lie to me. Because I know I'm chill and I know I accept things that I shouldn't that you're doing. So that's when I really get riled up and they're like, why are you being so mean today? Why'd you come in here in a bad mood? I hope you're in better mood tomorrow.
Oh, I can't fucking do it. I can't do it. I'm just like, this world is getting crazier and crazier, and you think it's bad, but then something else happens, and it's just so mind boggling to me.
I know.
I keep my like thinking, I feel like this is my thinking pose because I've done this like 4 times this episode.
That's what happens when I keep going like this and I'm like, crap, I need to sit up.
Oh my lord. This episode was actually kind of crazy.
I loved it.
So we went from
Body image to elderly disrespect.
to it's all about your mind, baby. Your mind is in control of literally you and your life.
Your mind is fucking powerful and let's use it. Let's stop belittling ourselves. We're speaking our opinions. We're loving our bodies. Follow us on everything. We'll see you guys next episode. Like, subscribe, comment. We need more interaction from you guys. We want to have conversations with you guys.
Yeah, for real though. Especially with this episode, I feel like y'all can definitely send us your opinions. Tell us why you think we're wrong. Shit.
That's what I'm saying. Because if you haven't noticed, we are super blunt. We're going to say what we want. We want you guys to say what you want. And you can be mean. If you have some shit to talk it. Even if it's about us, even if it's the way I said something, like, I don't care. I'm going to learn from it. I might be like, okay, you're wrong and not change it. But who cares? At least I'm self-aware. At least you made me aware that it's happening. We're cool girls. You're cool people.
No, literally though, talk your shit because I know you are talking your shit. So just send it to us.
And we can't fix or get better without feedback.
All right, this is Nobody Asked for This podcast with Saulyna and Cali. See ya.